Hi, I'm Jonathan Tomkin from the University of Illinois. One of the sustainability threats that the Earth faces is to its ecosystems and to extinctions of individual species. We'll discuss in a later series of lectures the benefits that humanity gets from ecosystems. But in this set of lectures, we're going to focus on what has happened in the past and what is happening now, and how that relates to the theme of tragedy of the commons. Before we look at human-caused extinctions, we should be aware that the vast majority of extinctions that have happened in Earth's history have nothing to do with people. These previous mass extinctions were caused by enormous natural catastrophes. Geologists report that there have been 5 previous mass extinctions, and that these were caused by natural catastrophes. Suggestions include supervolcanoes, giant asteroid strikes, massive worldwide climate change. As we can see from this graph here, the number of genii wiped out in these mass extinctions has been very large. A genus is a larger classification than a species. So, for example, the Canis genus includes dogs, wolves, coyotes, dingoes. In some of these events, more than 30% of genii were wiped out. Are we seeing something of a similar magnitude today? What about extinctions caused by man? This is not a modern problem. Humans have been creating ecosystem change and extinctions for literally tens of thousands of years. Early humans had technologies that they used to transform the landscape. They had fire, they had stone tools, they had javelins, even bows and arrows. And by using this technology, they not only changed the ecosystems, they also caused some creatures to become extinct. As people migrated out of Africa, the fossil record suggests that local ecosystems suffered. These are all extinct animals from Australia's prehistory. Giant birds, wombats, kangaroos, even a marsupial lion. Some say it was climate change that wiped them out, but the timing between the arrival of humans on the continent of Australia and the extinctions creates a pause. It seems that they came at the same time. This not only occurred in Australia, it occurred in many other continents. So, for example, in North America, 13,000 years ago, a large number of the large mammals died out at the same time that the Clovis people left their remains. And in other places such as Madagascar, we also have evidence that when humans migrated from Africa to the island, there was a distinct reduction in the number of mammal species. So humans have always been transforming the landscape. We've always been changing. This is a tragedy because it is not in our interest to have these extinctions. But individual hunters or groups have a different incentive than the long-term preservation of a variety of species. I said before there were 5 previous mass extinctions. Are we currently in a 6th mass extinction? It's very difficult to tell how large our current extinction event is. The International Union for Conservation of Nature says that the current extinction rate is between 1,000 and 10,000 times higher than the natural rate. And they say that is because we're seeing significant habitat loss. This is only an estimate, however, and it requires models that use habitat loss as a proxy for extinction rate. We don't even know how many species there are in the world today. If we look at a class of creature that we do know about, mammals, we can make another sort of estimate. There are about 5,000 extant mammal species on the planet. The average lifetime for a species of mammal is around 1 million years. And so over the 400 years that we've been observing the population of mammals, we might expect to see 1 or 2 extinctions. Instead, we've seen 89. Clearly that's much higher than the background rate. It's about 50 times higher. It's still not 1,000 or 10,000, however. So it's not clear how big the problem is exactly. But again, this gets back to our limit on knowledge. If we don't know how many species there are, we don't even know how much damage we're doing. When an individual clears forest or other habitat, there is a private benefit. but there is also a collective loss in terms of ecosystems and species. So development can lead to extinction, and it is too much for any one individual to stop. And unfortunately, it's been going on for a long time. In particular, the tropics, where almost half of all the world's forests are located, are seeing significant deforestation over the last few decades. Right now, it's averaging around 7 million hectares per year, which is an unsustainable rate. So we can hope for progress, but clearly there's still a lot to do. At the beginning of this lecture, I showed an image of a dodo, a famous species that was rendered extinct. Even though for any individual sailor or any individual ship, the dodo was a resource that was worth preserving because they were good to eat. Nevertheless, the tragedy of the commons meant that this organism no longer exists. Are we doing this for other species that might also be very important or useful to humans in the future? Potentially the answer is yes, and in a big way. Future climate change could significantly alter ecosystems all over the world, and in the next series of lectures, we'll find out how significant that threat is.
Produced by OCE Atlas Digital Media at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.